Robert. I'm 19 and I drive a 1995 Nissan 240SX. So right now I'm on HSD coilovers, Varstone ES2 wheels, and a custom exhaust. That's about it. The rest of the car is pretty much all stock. What I like the most about my car is how clean it is. For a 95, especially for the year it is and the type of car it is, like a 240, you don't find them as clean as mine is now, you know? And it's loud as shit, so gotta love it. I picked the 240 because it's such a good platform to start off with, especially that I got mine stock. There's so much things I could do with it. I could go the V8 route, go RB26. There's so much engines you can put in it. There's so much, you can use it as a drag car, a street car, a drift car. Like, you can literally do whatever you want with it. The intention I get from it, when I pull up to parking lots, when I pull up to meets, you know, it's just a crowd pleaser. People love it. It's like a unicorn. You don't see it every day, you know, so it brings people, it makes people happy. Like, people like to see it. My dad was a big influence on why I got the cars. He was always into cars when I was younger, and he would always get me toy cars and things like that. And video games was a big thing too. I was always into Need for Speeds, the Underground series, things like that. I played those constantly. That's all I played as a kid. So that definitely introduced me into cars when I got my license here. My brother too, my older brother's into cars too, and he was always like, I looked up to him always, so, and he was into cars, so like whatever he was interested, I would kind of look into it and be like, oh, why is he interested in this? And then we both have a passion for cars, so that definitely helped too. Every day I'm thinking about cars. I'm always thinking about what I can do next to my car, or like what car I would like to build. I'm always on the street looking at different people's cars, you know, watching car videos on YouTube. Just basically that's all I think about all day is just cars. It consumed my life. Next steps for the car, definitely more power. Either RB, SR. I want to keep it OEM plus, so I want to stick to a Nissan engine. So SR is more affordable, but they don't make as much power as RBs, so I'm still debating on what I want to do next in that stage.
Nissan 240SX, and this is the S14, and this was actually a Zenki front end and not a Kuki, so it makes it that much more rare because a lot of you guys for some reason keep switching it over to Kuki, and this car, it's pretty rare because most of these cars, they're all, you know, souped up and built and whatnot, and this one surprisingly is pretty much bone stock, besides, you know, a high flow cat, a res delete, and an exhaust, and coilovers. It's pretty much stock. Like, it has the KA24, which is pretty much the Nissan truck motor, right? So honestly, like, it's not that bad, to be honest. Like, yes, it is underpowered. It's, you know, you can still hit these bends pretty hard, and you can still bring out these motors, and it's pretty nice. Like, I actually really dig it, and like, just everything about this car is just special. You know, it's a 240SX. It's super clean as well, so it kind of makes up for the fact that it's NA. But once again, it's NA, but it's not a big deal because like it still has a lot of torque in the low ends, and the car's fun. It doesn't feel like it's underpowered at all. Lucas is actually the owner of this car, and Lucas has kind of went for a kind of a stance look with this because it isn't the fastest thing. So he's like, all right, you know what? It's not the fastest thing out here, so I'm going to just stance it out, and that's perfectly fine. So there is a little bit of rubbing here and there, but it's not really rubbing on the fenders. It's mainly just like rubbing on like the fender liners, and a little annoying to drive, to be honest, but I don't care. Shifts are very direct. It's a completely stock shifter. Even the shift knob is completely stock, and it feels really nice, super tight. guys don't know how planted this car is. It's very nice. Believe it or not, the coilovers that it's actually sitting on, they're HSDs. HSDs are personally like one of my personal favorites for coilovers because I feel like they kind of have it down just right, you know, like even their stiffest setting is still very doable. It's not as bad. It's not jumping all over the place. Yeah, it is stiff, but it's not stiff to the point where it's like rock hard, you know, like you can still like drive it around every single day and like it wouldn't really be a problem, you know. So I love you, HSD, please sponsor me. And this engine, it creates such a deep rumble. Like I know it's a lot of it has to do with the 3-inch piping that's gone along with the high flow cat and the muffler, but the KA itself, it produces a very deep tone, and the exhaust note is somewhat of it's very similar to like a Subaru. All over the internet you see like these cars, and most of them are all full track cars or like drift cars, and like they're all intense and all hooniganish, but like you don't really see much of these like in a stock form, and this one is probably one of the best examples in stock form. Believe it or not, Lucas is actually the third owner of it, and the second owner wasn't really a big owner. Like he kind of had it just for like a few weeks. So primarily this car was owned by the same person from 1994 all the way till 2016, and like it's got all the service records. This is probably one of the cleanest S14s you'll see out, and it's kept that clean as well, you know, like everything just feels tight in this car. Obviously with the aging of the car, it is a 1995, you are going to hear a little bit of noise from like the seats and all the creaks and stuff, but it's not as bad as most 240s. Like this 240 is very put together, and it's super nice. This probably is the cleanest 240 you'll see on the internet. It's super clean. Out of the whole drift scene and the whole track scene, besides that, these cars, like from the factory, they're actually very comfortable. Like believe it or not, this is like a Grand Tour, right? Like the seats, they're nice leather seats, they're super comfortable. They do have a little bit of bolstering as well, so like they do hold you in, but they're plush. Like they're not hardcore. Like you can seriously just, like I'm in the 5th gear right now and I'm having a conversation. I have an exhaust in this and I'm still having a conversation, and it's super comfortable, you know, like, and these are on coilovers too, so imagine on stock suspension. But it's a super engaging car, you know, like even the stock seat, you're sitting really low to the ground, and you know, like that's kind of what you want in these kind of cars, you know. You want that natural organic feel. There's no electronic assistance with this at all. Everything's just completely manual, so if you do spin out the car, you spin out the car. But because, like I said, because it is the KA24 motor on this, spinning out the car is a very unlikely chance. The stock steering wheel as well is pretty nice. I know it's like the nice little 3-spoke design. It's not heavy bolstered. It doesn't have any extra paddings or anything, or any extra bolsters that you can hold on to. And everything about this car, it's just super responsive. Even the throttle response is instant. Like you touch the gas and you're flying. There's no lag whatsoever. Like for a 1995 car to be able to do this, it's pretty astonishing, because a lot of the cars from the 90s, they're not, like, I really do feel like this car was over-engineered, and to be able to keep up to standards of like a new car in like 2017, that's pretty crazy, guys. So the wheels, they look really nice on this. They're Verestone, or however you pronounce it. Verestone is a replica company, but it's kind of like XXRs. They're like high-end replicas, so like they're not really like the shitty replicas, you know. So like they're still nice wheels. They look really nice on this as well. Like the stance it creates with the car are just absolutely amazing. They're pretty wide wheels. They're actually 10.5s in the rears. It's kind of a staggered setup, so it's pretty wide. So if you actually look at the car from behind, the wheels like actually poke out, and like it just looks aggressive. They are wrapped on Nankangs. The Nankangs are Chinese tires, so they are cheap tires. They're like 400 bucks for the full set, brand new. And Nankins, they're pretty good, to be honest. For like how much you're paying for $400, you're getting pretty decent tires. Like they're not like really bad tires where they don't grip. Like they're all seasons, but they still catch, you know. And this car is in the like I mentioned, this car isn't the fastest car out there, so you don't really need like a crazy sticky tire. But if you were to put a stickier tire in this, I would feel a lot more confident in the corners as well. This package, it is the higher package, so you do get the sunroof, and you do get the limited slip diff. So it catches, so you can definitely drift this thing. But you'd have to really, really be on it to drift it. I like the shifter as well. It feels really nice. It has a stock shift knob, and everything about it. There's no short shifters or anything that's kind of polluted the car. Everything's very pure, and it just feels nice. You know, you get like a nice little spot to keep your elbows. You're like in a natural driving position, and it's very organic the way it's been set up. Very driver-oriented car. There's literally nothing about this car that makes me feel like it's an old car. Like, it's aged very well. The lines of the cars are still very modern. And 1995, guys, you gotta think about it. That's friggin' 22 years old. It's a 22-year-old car, and it's driving like a friggin' like an FRS. I really don't get it. Like, the exhaust has like a little bit of a rumble. It kind of sounds like a Subaru with like uneven headers, but these are stock headers, high flow cat, res delete, 3-inch piping out to a muffler. The back seats as well, obviously they're not usable at all. You're gonna have to cut off your legs to fit in it. They kind of just put them in there for insurance purposes, and that's perfectly fine. A few years ago, if you actually looked on like, you know, like Craigslist or like Kijiji, this car was in the range around like 4 or 5 grand. Like right now, for something of this condition, like this guy's asking for over $10,000 for these. So kids, if you do end up buying a 240SX, you're making an investment, so tell your parents that. It still moves. Very quality built car. Nissan did a very good job with the 240SX, and it makes a lot of sense why so many people want these cars. Like, these cars are freaking amazing. I can really imagine how fun this car can be for drifting. It's so good. It's such a good car. Like an S14 that's a virgin like this, oh man, good luck, guys. But yeah, guys, if you guys know anybody that has a 240 that's a drift setup, definitely give me a shout. I'd love to take it out on a track and do a review on a track and, you know, make it go sideways. That's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and share this video because that really does help. And also comment below, what do you think about the 240SX? Do you prefer the S13 over the S14 or the other way around? And if you did have the S14, would you keep it kooky or zenky? Let me know below. And also guys, make sure to subscribe because I drop a car review every single week. And while you're at it, press that bell button right next to the subscribe button because that will let you know exactly what time I drop that video, and you get a little notification as well so you guys can watch it first and be cool. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the support, and be good kids. 11-11 guys. Peace.
Can I swear?